I think we're live. Well, we'll see in a minute. Wop, bop, 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 bop.
Yep, it's live.
Hey, we're in the chat. And we're maybe gonna see people show up in a second. Connecting to chat. 0 viewers. That's acceptable.
Not sure. I'm
oh,
here.
you know what I should do? I should click record.
That might be helpful.
We just play a whole game. I did that. That's why there's no first session on YouTube, because I didn't click. No, that's not true. We recorded it, and then I just thought the video on demand was going to be on Twitch forever, and that's not what happened. So that is why there is in fact no video on demand one. We talk about going back. Like, I gotta write something. I don't know. I hope everyone on there can hear me. I feel like I did something again. There we are. Haha, both. I did it from solo to mono. No, mono to solo. Whatever. It's in stereo now. Now I feel comfortable. It's officially 10 a.m. We may give someone 3 more minutes, see if somebody shows up. Oh, does anyone... So you got your 3 bennies, don't forget. Does anyone want to change their action card? Oh, I should distribute you all some action cards.
Paxton used his.
Oh, Paxton did use his. Okay.
Oh, he got all those very good notes and stuff.
Oh, right, because he knew a cat who knew a cat. All right, Paxton.
You know a guy.
I know a guy. All right, Paxton. I'm gonna send you a new card.
Shit fuck.
Did you just pardon?
I just said shit fuck because I
that's-
gotta find it.
That's not what I heard. I heard a different phrase entirely, and I was like, yikes. All right, Paxton. Paxton, can you give me a number between 1 and 47? You're muted, my friend.
Can't hear you, bud. No, now you're muted.
Before I couldn't
your
hear.
mic.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I plugged in a device and Discord said, "Oh, that's my microphone now." Anyway, 42.
Okay, let's see.
She works for the weekend. Oh, wait, we're on Twitch. I can't sing.
You know what? That bothers me so much. I can't tell you, because I love singing. I love singing so much. And it really bums me out that I can't even sing. I mean, I think people should be able to, because the internet now knows that I'll love Whitney, or I love I love Whitney Houston. I love whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit's great.
What other songs do I sing? Oh man, I got Mamma Mia running through my head basically every day. And the final countdown, my students have been like, Mr. Hatton, all you do is sing the final countdown every day while we're trying to take quizzes. And I'm like, that's how I live. If you can't accept it, you got to get out.
Yeah.
Take that, the internet.
I frequently joke with friends that I have a chronic condition. It's called I have to sing everything that enters my brain.
Yeah.
It's a little wordy, but
If I'm reminded of a song, it must come out of my mouth.
I also like making up songs about everything I do, like walking down the hallway, gonna get, make some photocopies. And after I make some photocopies, I'm gonna give a quiz. Oh, yeah. Quiz, 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 quiz. Yeah, yeah. Um, sorry. I'm just sending Paxton hello people online. It's so hello my friends. I'm just sending Paxton his I bit my fingernail too short.
Adventure card.
Yeah, his adventure card. Oh god, gosh darn it on the gosh darn itness.
I would also maybe like to have a new adventure card.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do this.
Okay, so I'm just sending it.
Let's go, girls.
Do 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 do. That's another.
We can get ourselves paid.
That's another great song.
Oh, Suki, are you singing too?
Can you tell her I say hello and that I love her?
Yeah. Hey, Suki. My friend Jackie says hello and they love you. She went to go lie down, I think.
Good for her. She deserves a
Oh,
rest.
maybe not.
Okay. And then you want a new card, Jackie?
Yes, please.
All right, give me a number between 1 and 47. It can't be 42.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say 42.
Too bad.
12.
Great. Now I have Man, I Feel Like a Woman stuck in my head.
That one's in my brain because yesterday I saw a tweet where someone said Aragorn saying "Let's go hunt some orcs" has the same energy as Shania saying "Let's go, girls."
That's very good.
Okay, here we go. The best. All right, I'm gonna get. Yeah, I definitely will get myself fired.
Ooh, that is a very good and fun adventure card.
I'm gonna forget it soon, by the way, so that's good.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, and here is yours. Okay. Hello. After 8 beautiful minutes. Hello and welcome to chapter Liber Novus, chapter 2, part 2, A Deal with the Devils, where our 2 characters are in the midst of a mystery. So why don't we each introduce our characters and ourselves, do a brief recap, and then we will get on with the getting on. So
professional, clean.
Yeah.
A+.
That's what they call me. Mr. Professional, Mr. Clean. That's a long name to be called. All right.
Is that your jellicle cat, Sona?
Yeah.
No. We don't need to bring that up here, Paxton.
Hi, I am Paxton. I am playing Streffen Daly in this game. You can find me on Twitter and stuff at sentimental_boy, because sentimental boy is my nom de plume. That's a reference maybe one person gets. I also can be found on the YouTube channel Roll for That, where I am running a game of Gravemire for some friends.
Nice. And what's Streffen's deal?
Streffen spent an so far indeterminate amount of time living in the realm of the Fae, where he was most useful for his ability as an oracle.
Yeah, that's his bag.
He is now home on Earth again, and wasn't really sure what to do with himself, and so that's why he joined the 1001, and now he is best friends with Amy. At least he
Don't know why
thinks.
I made a face. Don't know why I made a face.
All right, and Amy.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm playing Amy Wers. Gosh, introduction stuff. I can be found also on Twitter at Good Ship Sarcasm. You'll recognize my profile picture because it's the Strawberrio. I will not explain. Amy is God, how to summarize her?
Without giving
She's
it all
spicy.
away.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away.
All right, we actually haven't talked about Amy's thing,
No,
so we don't have
we've
to.
kept it very vague terms, so I'm gonna keep it vague terms. She's spicy. She's got a lot of her skill set is focused on. I think it's safe to say your skill set is focused on combat, getting in, getting the job done. I think two things of note is that she always seems to be wearing like motorcycle riding gear, you know, the protective stuff that's for like if you fall off, for the skid pads and everything. And she always has just a really long black umbrella with her. Even here in Arizona where there is no rain ever.
Actually, there's rain coming. There's supposed to be a terrible thunderstorm.
That's true. So it's a good thing I have an umbrella.
Necessarily mean rain. In Arizona, it could just be just clouds and thunder.
It's true.
Anyway, I'm being pedantic.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's I don't really have a whole lot more to give about Amy because there's not been a whole lot revealed about Amy, and I don't want to take away that fun.
And yes, in fact, it is important to understand that our characters are still do work for the 1001. This takes place in the setting for this game is an urban fantasy campaign where all those normal things that we know have happened in our world has happened, except that in the shadows, underground, etc., there is a second world of ghosts and goblins and demons and dragons, etc., that for the most part just want to be left alone and live their lives in the shadows. But there are, like in any society, those that seek to usurp and sow chaos. And there is a group of people known as the 1001 who are recruited by the mysterious Morrison Lemire and set on assignments to, as he puts it, keep the stories going. And that idea, that story, is what has brought you here to Alton's Bend in Arizona, where you were tasked to, I guess, find more about a event that may or may not occur in the next 24 hours, where two people will be, horribly murdered. You were given a newspaper for a day ahead of where you are now, and they will be horribly murdered and have pieces of wood shoved into their ears and cloth shoved down their throats and their tongues ripped out. You also encountered in your time, as you've been looking around, that there used to be a group of people, a wellness center that valued silence, and but they all sort of drank the poison punch or what have you back in the 70s. But when last we left our characters, the two of you were taking night shifts to see what was up. And it was about 2 a.m. and Amy saw a gaunt figure just naked and outside. You didn't far away on the other side of the parking lot of your motel. And when that happened, it was completely silent. All the sound sort of deadened out. And that's where you all are now. It's 2 a.m. And Amy, I believe it's up to you. What are you going to do? Are you going to wake up Strefan? Are you going to let the sound are you going to let the night pass? What's the deal?
I probably should have thought about this. It's like, I don't know. I'm still trying to suss out how Amy would respond to this sort of situation. Because, like, I think because we're here as a team, she would wake up Streffen. I don't think she's the sort to wake anyone gently. So it's probably like just a thrown pillow at him, accompanied with like a hiss of his name.
Streffen, you're hit with a pillow. You were there gently in snooze land. And the pillow sails across the room and hits you in the face.
Streffen probably, he doesn't wake up that suddenly, but it's definitely a, oh, what?
Oh, good, you're awake.
What time is it? And he like rolls over to look at the way too bright motel clock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's got to be like just after 2 a.m.
Yeah,
right?
It's about a quarter after.
Oh, what's up?
Oh god, I don't even know how to like describe this. So there was a thing, emaciated, absolutely naked as the day he was born. Not necessarily something I wanted to see. But the real thing of note is that there was no sound when he was around. Like, I couldn't even hear my own breathing or your snoring. Just nothing.
Do I snore?
Yes.
Oh.
You should sleep on your side more.
But the important part, a guy who was naked, and then you couldn't hear anything.
No, couldn't hear anything, and then I saw the guy. That was
okay.
Order of appearance. Like
like
a thunderstorm.
Any other details about the guy? I mean, I guess being naked is a big detail, but
I'm trying to remember how you described him, Ben. Emaciated, naked were the two important details that I wrote down. I don't know if there was anything else of note.
And then, well, the only thing that you noticed was that the sound disappeared when the person was around, and when they sort of faded into the shadows, it disappeared.
Yeah.
And you can't decide. The one thing you don't remember is if they like faded into the shadows, like they just like went out of sight, or if they just actually like faded from view, like did apparated or disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot more than that. I woke you because you know things and you know how to figure out things, and I figured you would have an idea on how to figure this thing out, because there's no way that this isn't linked to whatever's happening tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Right. It's there are Streffen like sits up in bed and he presses the heels of his hands into his eyes. And I would like to roll occult to see if I know anything related to this.
I love that idea.
Awesome. My occult is a D8 plus 2
And-
because I am a scholar of the occult.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, big fucking nerd.
Check out
That-
the big brain on Brad. Sorry.
That is a 5.
Okay, with a 5, your best guess is like ghost, maybe spirit, specter. Like you couldn't figure out exactly from what Amy's describing, you can't really figure out what type. It's just not enough. You also like don't have all your books and stuff with you, but you're going to assume some sort of specter. And you as much as you hate those ghost hunter shows, you do know for a fact that like the one thing they do get right is that ghosts can have an impact on the corporeal world. They can move keys, they can like lower temperatures and stuff. There are those vibes, so it is not implausible that a ghost could have an impact on sound. It's pretty impressive. You think that that's probably got to be 300 feet, probably, maybe from where you are to the other side of to where Amy saw the ghost. So its distance, its impact is pretty noticeable. But I think that's sort of what you're noticing.
Yeah, and I relate that information to my friend Amy. Yeah, so some kind of maybe a really powerful ghost of some sort, or maybe just very skilled at, I don't know, is it doing some kind of an active noise canceling, or is it just I would love to. Nope. It's too dangerous to do experiments or anything like that. Okay. What do you want to do? Do you want to go out close to where it appeared and look around? Do you want to stay here in the imagined safety of our motel room?
Yeah.
We got some hours before dawn.
Well, now that you're awake, you can stay here and keep the motel room safe, and I'm gonna go take a look.
Okay.
Like, no, we can't split the group. Okay, what was that noise?
Nothing.
No, we're okay.
There was a noise.
We've already talked about this. If you have thoughts, share them. I'm not a mind reader. That's not my bag.
Me neither. I don't think. I wonder if I could learn to read.
Streffen, the noise.
The noise. No, that was just me wondering kind of out loud on accident how smart that idea is. And the problem is that I don't know if that's not smart. Okay, I will stay here.
What would be not smart about it? Like, if you need to come with me, you can come with me. But like, I don't know. There's going to be a whole lot for you to do.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot for me to do. Okay, I'll wait here.
Okay. Cool.
This
So
is great radio.
yeah,
Um,
where are you going? Are you just going where you saw the
Yeah,
thing?
I'm definitely going to check out where I saw it disappear or fade or however it demanifested or
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it. And then maybe try to track to where I saw it first.
Okay.
To see if I'm just trying to find something, anything of note to help maybe give us more answers or an idea of where it might have come from or gone or Cotton Eye Joe, you know?
Dude. Oh wait, I was about to say can't do it. I'm not allowed to do that on the internet. Give me a notice roll.
Okay, yeah, I can do a notice.
You go out into the night.
Yeah. And I've got good night vision, so it's fine.
Yes. Don't you
Yes.
not lose? Don't you not take penalties from?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm not a
Where
poor.
the fuck is my D8? I'm gonna do the crystally one because spooky, scary ghosts. Nope, Benny.
Boop.
First roll of the game, 1 and a 2.
1 and a 2.
Oh, I got a 1 on my wild type, but an 8.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a total of 13.
Wow. So with a 13,
It's good.
yeah, that was a good roll. So explosion. So with a 14, nope, a 13. With a 13,
I mean, if you want it to be a 14.
No, it wouldn't be that much. Oh, actually, that would be no. So
It wouldn't be any different. That's it's already a success
It's
with 2
still
raises.
two
It's a
raises.
success with 2
Yeah.
raises. I'm trying to think of like what a success with 2 raises looks like here. Okay. So it takes you okay. So you cross the parking lot and you hear the buzz of those fluorescent street lights that are lighting the parking lot. It's still just you two. It's like your bike and those 2 other cars. You're not even you see a light in the person or in the where the front desk person is, because it's like a separate little shack off to the side. But it's pretty, otherwise it's a pretty dead evening. No one is coming to this town, and it's so quiet. But you can, but the thing that's interesting is like you are so noticeable about the crunch of your feet on the gravel, like your boots on the gravel, because you just experienced that total silence that it sounds so loud. But you make it over to where you think this apparition appeared, and it takes you several minutes. What you don't see in general is there's no like footprints, right? You're pretty good at spotting that. There doesn't seem to be any physical marks or tracks of something having passed through here, even in the middle of the night. There should be something. There's very little, but your nose detects, because you're quite good with that, a hint of blood.
Ooh.
Probably around the corner, sort of in the direction of where the creature went. And I don't know if you it's so faint that you probably wouldn't have noticed it if you weren't being keenly aware. And you go around the corner and you see a coyote. And the coyote has had its throat exploded. It's just gore, and like it's like someone put like a firework into its mouth. And its throat has been ripped open. There's blood along the ground, and its ears are bleeding as well. But it is very dead. But that's what you notice.
Throat exploded. Ears are bleeding.
Yep.
very dead.
Yeah. But when you go to look to see if there's no sign of like a struggle, you know what I mean? Like there's no tearing or rending from the outside. It doesn't look like this thing ever bit anything or was like fighting anything. There are no other marks on it. That's just all that happened.
God, I think Amy had like squatted next to it, balancing the umbrella on her thighs as she like looks over. And she's muttering to herself, what could have done this? And I mean, if that's all she finds, she's going to go back and share it with Streffen. But, like,
Yeah.
there's not really anything more to look at. No indication that anybody else was disturbed
No.
by what happened.
Not out here, even with this, right? I mean, there is certainly the feeling that you could follow. There seems to be a path, right? You have detected the arc. You could go further if you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, well, if you're gonna keep going, like no, that's fine.
Okay.
Like that's your decision. How much further are you planning on going?
Does it seem like, okay, if I were to go get Streffen, would this path disappear or would I be able to find it again?
You could definitely find it again with a 13.
Okay. I think Amy has a moment where she's just like about to go, and then she's like, this is, it's taking her away. It's not good for this to split up at that degree of distance. So I think she would then go get Streffen and just be like, I found a trail of something. It's gross, but it's something.
Streffen he was probably already sitting kind of next to the door, peeking out the window, and so he just like grabs his cane and levers himself out of the chair and says, "Are we going?"
Yeah, that's why I came and got you.
Let's go.
So the two of you spend it's a long time, but what you ultimately end up picking up is a series, and this is again because of your unique ability to smell things, Amy. It is a path of dead animals. First is the coyote, maybe a block away, it's several rats. A little bit after that, eventually this is going to take you out of, if you keep following it, it takes you out of the actual like town area. You're starting to hit the scrubby brush and the dust and the dirt of just the desert. But and as that happens, it gets like more concentrated lizards and more rodents of various kinds, maybe another coyote, and it's all the same thing. It's all around the throat and the mouth, or whatever these creatures or whatever the animals use to create sound, whatever it would have been. And I think because you had charted a course, you know that the direction that you're going, should you walk, an hour or two, because it's not in the town's limits, you would get to the domes and the remnants of the wellness center.
God fucking damn it.
Excellent. And that's me, not Streffen. Streffen probably says, "Oh no."
Excellent.
Excellent.
Also, Ben, I want to say you answered every single question I was going to ask in your description. You were just like, they're all the same way at the trajectories. So I was like, okay, good. I don't even need to ask. Thank you.
You did roll a 13. You did get 2 raises.
Stop.
1 raise, maybe. Like, yeah. Like, but yeah. You do quite, yeah. You did have all those raises. And you have you can see in the dirt and stuff. So, like, yeah. But I mean, the interesting
Griffin
part.
have a flashlight with him.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is it does like the line of dead creatures becomes more clustery the closer you get to the thing. Almost like a wave, right? That is strong and then hits the shore and sort of just like weakens out.
Yeah.
So, and you've been doing this for probably about an hour to an hour and a half, walked 45 minutes out, walked 45 minutes back. So it's still not dawn, but it's about 3:34 at this point.
I think Amy would just like there's shoot, what would she do? Do you know of anything that could do this?
It seems to mostly still track with the ghost theory.
Well, like a banshee or something? I know banshees deal with like noise, but usually it's making it, not silencing.
Yeah, this is more like a reverse banshee.
A reverse banshee.
Because, traditional banshee, actually a common misconception, banshees are more fae aligned than ghostly, because they anyway that they scream, they make a sound to indicate that a death has happened. This thing is killing things in order to prevent them from making sound, maybe. So it's like an inverse banshee.
The cosine banshee, if you will.
Yeah.
I won't. Fuck math. God, I had last session. I had Amy kind of hum to herself, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Like when the silence happened,
mm-hmm.
and then the creature looked at me, right?
No, you just didn't hear anything. I don't think the creature noticed you.
Okay.
I mean, I can say that what you remember is the creature did not notice you. There was no acknowledgement of you.
All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't try to make anything louder than a hum. I wonder if that's how it, like it has that sphere of silence, and then anything that can cause some sort of, like sound wave, ripple, what have you in there, it goes to it and then kills it? It kills itself? I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe. That seems... It's all we've got. Do we want to keep going to the domes now? We're already... I don't know. How close are we already, Ben?
You're not close. Like, it would still be... Like, it is...
It's a while
it's
out
like
of town.
15 to 20 miles out of town.
Okay.
Like
you don't need to walk that. You don't need to walk that.
You would still have to walk
I am incapable of walking.
Yes. Yes.
In less than a day.
Yeah. The thing about the Southwest is like things that like when I was living out there, like when you call things close, like close is like 10 miles. Like that's close. Whereas in like a city or in like the East Coast, close is like a block. But no, like so there like it's part of the town, but it's still like 20 miles out of the town because it's Southwest close.
Well, it also was like a resort getaway,
cultural
whatchamacallit, so like it needed to
No.
be isolated.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I think it probably would be best for us to not go there until it's daytime. We're already having to go to, get the tickets to the tour or whatever, but like
Mhm.
maybe we can go and see if we could do it before it's night.
Absolutely.
Plus, I interrupted your sleep for this, so you need to finish resting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
No, it's fine.
I suppose I'd best go rest before the consumption. No, I'd love to see the sea one more time.
Allow me to put on my swimming gown as I so you all go back to your rooms, or to your room. I mean, I do think you are able to sleep relatively. I mean, maybe not easily. Meow. Maybe you got to like pop a melatonin or something in order to go back to sleep. But you do get rest. And Amy, if you want to get rest, you can also get rest.
Amy had rested during the first watch,
Yeah.
so I think she's good.
Okay. Well, nothing else happens. You see the sun rise over the red rocks eventually, and if you're not out of there if you're not up and about by sort of 8 a.m., you will see a really like tan, muscly dude come out of his motel, out of his room, and he's wearing a shirt with no sleeves, maybe like a puka shell necklace, some
Chad,
like some shorts, and like his sunglasses are on the back of his head. He wears it that way because it's not super bright yet, and they're upside down on the back of his head, so he can just like whoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he goes to how many tires? You just did one tire or like all the tires? I can't remember.
She definitely didn't do all 4 because then they could get the insurance claim, right? So
yeah, fuck those guys. I think you only did one, if I remember correctly.
I think because I had rolled so poorly on the stealth, it was just one.
So,
I think that was it.
So he comes out to like, he starts fishing around in his car or in like the front seat, and then he pops out and he's just like, and then you hear this like muffled like, what the fuck? Like, oh man, like, babe, and like then like a very sporty blonde woman with a high pony comes out, wearing pajama bottoms and a crop top, and she looks at the tire too, and she's like, and then they're like, you hear like mumbling, talking, and stuff, but that's what you see, and they are exactly, they look just like college students.
I was going to ask Paxton.
Yes.
How early does Streffen get up normally?
I think Streffen is. Oh gosh. I think Streffen is an early to bed, early to rise kind of guy. He's kind of old fashioned in some of his attitudes, and he absolutely has drank the Poor Richard's Almanac Kool-Aid. Should I make that reference when we're actually dealing with somebody who had a cult here? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Streffen probably wakes up like between 5 and 6.
Okay. So you've all had your like breakfast. You're like your neither of you really need the food, so maybe like a cup of coffee and a little thing.
Oh, I eat like another couple mouthfuls of bread.
Right. Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, and you know that the domes don't open until later, and now but you have these two people sort of just like, and eventually he goes and he gets out his. You see him taking a minute, and he opens up the trunk or like the hatchback of his vehicle, and he like pulls out a spare and a jack and stuff. So that's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to do anything, we can like fast forward. But you purposely
trying to decide if
you
she's
like
gonna go out and talk to them or not.
literally
You
you literally popped his tire. So
Yeah. So your
so
point?
I'm just saying, like, what's the plan, Stan?
Yep. Was the point to make him angry?
The point was to hopefully keep him from going on whatever he goes on that got him killed, you know?
Right.
That was the intent.
Right.
God, but like, shit, Amy is not one for small talk. There is not a subtle bone in her body, so like... I don't know. I don't think she goes out to speak with them. I think she like makes note of their faces, and if they end up leaving before we do, makes note of the direction that they head, just to like confirm things and keep an eye out on them and everything.
Okay, well, you watch him. He takes some time. If you don't do anything, the order will go like this: he changes the tire. He gets on his cell phone, makes some phone calls, and there's that diner you all went to that's not terribly far. They like walk to the diner. They like leave for a while. They come back.
They leave for a while. I'm gonna flush their tires again.
Yeah, they just like. Are you gonna pop his tire again if he leaves?
Oh my god!
I mean, if they leave, I might as well. If they're not here.
Yeah, they just like if that's your move. I mean, you could literally.
So I'm gonna do 2 tires.
No.
All right. Well,
on the same side.
Oh my god. So
like in the way that like where everything is oriented, the main office. Is there a way that I can be on a side of the car that they won't see me?
Yes.
From the main office.
Yes. Oh my god, you're slashing his tires again. All right, give me another stealth roll.
No.
Let's see how well this one works.
I believe in me. I believe in me.
Oh my god, I cannot believe you're doing this to him. But all right.
I am so sad for these people.
Yeah, like this is so.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna fucking Benny it.
Just ruin their whole vacation. Why don't you?
I'm actually gonna.
Oh yeah, because dying isn't gonna.
I'm
ruin
gonna
it
give
more.
you a Benny for this decision. I'm gonna give you a Benny because this is fucking hilarious.
Thank you. I got a 5.
All right, so with a 5, you are. I wouldn't say you're perfect. Like people still don't see you do it. Like no one is seeing you.
And you caught in the act.
And you do a better. Yeah, they're not coming back from breakfast, and then you're just like there being like, "Oh, sorry,
oops, my knife slipped."
Yeah. I will say that you do you don't overtly damage like the air nozzle like you did last time.
Mm-hmm.
So you do manage to let the air out of the tires. But you just do it, right? Like it's not subtle. It doesn't look natural.
No.
It is like
it's gonna be so fucking obvious that somebody's fucking with them just because they got 2 flat tires after the first one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like so.
They don't know that it was me.
No, they really don't know it's you. But eventually, you manage to hastily beat feet back into your room. You hear them like coming back, and you hear just like the dude be like, I can't. He's like, he's a loud talker. And he's like, oh my God, like, I can't even believe it, babe. Like, at least we have the spare. We'll be able to like do some good hiking. And she's like, yeah, like it's gonna be good, no worries. It's just like she's like unbelievably happy. She's like, it's cool. Like, don't worry about it, babe. Like, it's all right. They just like everyone's babe. Like, don't worry. Like, these things happen. Maybe we drove over something. And he's like, I don't know. That looks like someone really. And then you like sneak in and shut the door, and they get to the car, and he just sees it, and he just fucking loses it. He's just screaming.
Oh no!
And like kicks the car, and he like goes over to the you like see him walk in the direction of the like the little hut where the desk worker is, but the lady's there, like the young woman stays there, and she like gets on her phone, and for a little bit, and you can't hear this, but then he comes back and he goes right to your door, and it's just like bump, 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 bump. He is knocking on your door.
I'm gonna open it.
Oh no!
So you open it, and
Yeah, can I help you?
He's like, listen, sorry, I don't. He's like obviously flustered, he's sweating. He's like I'm I need an. He's like, I'm Dane Zavala. Sorry for disturbing. That's my girlfriend, Kylie. He's like, did you see like anyone like fucking with my car? Like last night, my tires got messed up. Or one of them, we went to breakfast, but like now they're all fucked up again. Did you like see anything? He's like,
no. Why would I be watching?
all right,
a
you
cop?
have to give me some way. You have to give me like some way to like pitch it that you are not the lie. Like you need like I don't even know what that would be in.
I think usually the skill is persuasion.
Yeah,
or
give me a
performance.
persuasion. I allowed
Great.
trickery also as a skill. So like, but yeah.
I don't got that.
Yes, you need to give me a persuasion then.
My D for persuasion.
A D4 persuasion.
Yeah.
Yikes, that fucking sucks.
Actually, if I'm gonna be honest, the flavor of Amy's lies are usually intimidation of like, don't fucking ask kind of deal. You know, it's the same dice roll, but that's definitely she's not a honey, she's a vinegar.
That's fair enough. If you want to roll an intimidation to be like why are you even in my door?
Yeah, it's like why would I know anything? Why would I tell you if I know anything? Leave me the fuck alone. Oh, we're gonna Benny. Are there any what's the word? Negatives to this, or is it just a standard roll?
I think because of your stealth roll, like it's just standard. You know, he's not coming in hot or whatever. He's just like super confused.
I got a 6.
Okay, so tell me what you say to him.
So, while he's like figuring out what to say and he's introducing himself, Amy's definitely doing that like hard, okay, you're talking to me stare. And then after he asks his question, she lets there be an uncomfortable amount of silence before she answers, no, I didn't see anything. And then just closes the door in his face.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's it.
Yeah, and he's just like, hello? And then you just hear him like, fuck. And then he goes, and then they're like back to the car. Eventually, a tow truck shows up and takes the car. And then a police car shows up and takes some like their statements, right, for insurance and stuff. But
And then the cop knocks on the door.
and then the cop knocks on the door, and he opens it. And like
Honestly, I don't know if we would have. I don't think Amy would have want to stuck around after that.
Okay,
Like after
okay.
saying no, she would have fucking left.
all
Like
right.
she did what she needed to do, and we got to go do stuff too.
All right. So I think okay, fair enough. So as you are like packing up and getting in your motorcycle, yeah, that's when like the tow truck and the police officers show up, but you all just drive off.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel a pang of, I don't know if you feel a pang of guilt, but like obviously Kylie has been crying, and like you hear him just be like, babe, it's all fuck, I'm so sorry. Like you never know, like maybe there's some kids or like I don't know, assholes out here just fucking with people.
Kids or assholes.
Definitely one of the two. Like Amy doesn't feel remorse because in her head doing this might have saved their lives. And yeah, they're disappointed that they didn't get the trip in, but also they're not dead. Probably, maybe, hopefully. Like that's where she's at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kill them both just so you have
No,
done nothing.
I spent so many bennies.
They're both dead, and you ruined their tires. Fuck you. No.
Their last memory alive was their vacation being ruined.
Yep. He's just
as
says
wood got shoved into their ears.
He says fuck too loud and just throats explode. No. Yeah. So where do you ride your motorcycle to?
When did the dome graveyard thing open up? Like what was the time on that?
It's like after lunchtime. So you know
we're still pretty early morning, right?
Yeah, you're like mid-morning. This all took over several hours, I think, like the and they had a late breakfast. So you have some time, a few hours, and some lunch before it picks up. But unless there's any, yep. Unless there's anything specific you want to do between now and then,
is this town too small to have a library?
Give me a higher or low. Give me a higher or low. Let's see what happens.
Higher or low? Let's go high.
Or you can spend a penny. You could spend a penny to affect. Right? You can spend a penny to impact the story.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'll spend a penny. Why not?
Sure. There is a really small public library, like really small. I mean, it's like a storefront, and like the word library is above it on a like little piece of wood that is above the door. And it's just like library in black painted letters. Like the book drop is it's just like a slot of metal in one of the windows. But yes, you can go in if you want.
Yeah. So Streffen would suggest to Amy, maybe we should see if the library, like old newspaper, check to see if things like this have happened before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Amy's fine. Like there's time to kill. Her focus is on the actually going to the location, so this is something to do in between.
Yep. And with that, like so you show up there, and there is a short, reedy, ancient woman with like with like trifocals, like boop boop boop, like the lines, and what is there is I don't know what happened then. I'll check my wires in a second. And those like super thick veins that old people have on the back of their hands. And she's like, "May I help you?"
Hello, we are oh gosh. We probably should have come up with a lie ahead of time, huh Jackie? Hi, we are reporters from out of town, and
A lot of town.
I look like a reporter.
I've been to out of town.
I was, or man, do you have a man? I am blanking on the words to use right here.
Like a microfiche, like a
do you have a microfiche, some microfilm of old newspapers from the town?
yeah, an archive of local newspapers.
Yeah.
Thank you, DJ. Yes. Who plays David Sawyer in the other six? Yes. Yes. And you spend a penny for this. Yeah, they have like a little but like dented microfiche newspaper file. Like the fact that this town has converted anything to like even microfiche is a shock, but yes.
Right.
So why don't you give me a roll to see how long?
Research, maybe?
Yep, research roll. Yep. Research. That's what I was going to say. Give me a research roll. Then we'll take a bio break, and I'll figure out what's next.
Awesome. All right. And I did double check the how long microfilm has been around, and the technology for microfilm is actually older than Streffen.
So it's so old.
Probably,
the fact that you have to check is wild.
Rip Van Winkle. Okay,
yeah, he's an old cat.
I got a 5 on that.
Okay, so with a 5, yes.
Good
so
enough.
Let's take a bio break, or a drink of water, or a text break. Check in with the fam. My fam. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. 11:10. We'll be back.
See you soon.
Dude, put this thing up that says, "Be right back." Boop, boop, boop. yeah, we weren't like okay.
Easy plug.
Easy plug.
Definitely didn't wear it for that reason.
Just so you all know, the thing that I wrote, the thing that got like awkwardly, what's the word? Censored is Babe 2, Pig in the City. Like I didn't like. I wasn't trying to be like everybody should watch Boobs 2, Pig in the City. Like
Yeah, but like, babe.
but
Babe.
babe. It's
Oh, man.
Dane and Kyle's favorite movie, or Kylie's favorite movie.
Babe, I can't believe this happened. Fuck.
Babe, fuck.
Oh man, I
We're
was
dating Kylie.
for some reason after hearing the description of Dane specifically, I really wanted to make a CPRS joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, now I'm thinking about those kids and being kind of sad. Anyway,
Yep.
Hello, I'm back. Hi.
hi, welcome back.
Did I miss the read of what that role got you, Paxton?
No.
No. We were waiting. I wasn't starting.
Thank
So
you.
what that role gets you is, the news here is not like in-depth reporting. It does go back a long time, and I don't think you're spending hours here combing through stuff.
No.
But probably there have been overall a couple of events around the domed area that sort of add to the mysterious, ghost haunted feeling, like the stories, right? The urban legends that are around it, where there have been a series of similar mutilations or whatnot that have occurred around the domed city or the domed area over the last 50 years, since the 70s, mostly picking up in the early 80s. Sounds, there's been like This Week in the Ghost Story. There have been animals who have been found in similar states as the ones you found yesterday. There are stories of cars stop working, or a report of a car accident. Probably in the early 90s, but where someone said they thought they saw someone on the road, but it was but the person was also drinking. So things like that, but nothing as sort of overt and like collectively violent as what you all saw last night. But there have been, this is not new.
Okay.
But some people think there's always seems to be a reason to discredit. Some people think that the previous owners of the domed city, or of the domed area, like the person who originally converted it, was doing these things to like drum up business. But so that's where it is.
I do want to say that while Streffen is doing the good research and dealing with reading this text and everything, Amy is pacing around the small room Like taking a book, looking at the title, flipping through it, maybe reading a page, slamming it shut, putting it back, and then walking again, and then just repeating the cycle because she's not a sit still sort of person.
Mhm.
I think at some point, you hear the old lady, like the old lady says to you, like, "Oh, you young people today have so much energy. I couldn't do that sort of movement that you're doing anymore. Also, please make sure you're putting the books back in the place you found them.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'll have to retrace your steps."
Yeah, they're going back where I found them.
Thank you. And then she like goes back to her computer. I don't know, like I think at some point if you like peek at it, like she is definitely just following. She's just like she has all these tabs open about the royal family in England.
Oh,
She's just like consuming like rumors about the royal family.
oh gosh. Yep.
There are like pictures of corgis all over her desk. But yes, that's what you pull. And after a certain amount of time, you know, you have this research. You know that these things aren't new, and you know that the domed area will be open.
Mhm. All right.
More like, how did he get those big sausage fingers? Like, those fingers are gross. Prince Charles. Here, I'll say it live. Prince Charles' fingers are gross. Sorry, King Charles's fingers are gross.
Yeah. Oh,
But that's not what she's looking up.
yeah.
Maybe it is. We don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe she's. Never mind. I'm
A
not
lot of
finishing that
tabs.
sentence.
Picture of his sausage fingers.
It's just
Sausage fingers is the little known cousin of salad fingers.
yeah.
No. I hate that.
One tab just says King Charles dick pics. That's not actually what is there. Sorry.
No.
Let's continue.
With water retention like that. Anyway.
So we're going to the dome graveyard.
On our way to the dome graveyard, or more like as soon as we leave the library and are walking to the motorcycle, Streffen will just really quickly read through his notes for Amy.
Yep.
Okay, whereas it looks like this is part of a larger pattern for sure, but nothing indicates anything at the scale of what has happened and what we have been told will happen. So maybe we can prevent it. There's something actually going on with this ghost. We can. I don't know.
Was there any like pattern to the timings of these occurrences?
Not that you could figure out.
Don't think so.
Like no coinciding with full moons or anything like that?
Nah, that's like the first thing you check, right?
Yeah,
There's nothing connected with nothing that can be tracked on a lunar calendar or the solar calendar, as far as I can tell. Doesn't track with any other major celestial bodies. There's no correlation of like holidays or even public figures coming into town that were reported. It was just stuff happens that's weird sometimes, you know.
I mean, if it's ramping up, there's got to be some sort of internal motivation for this.
Yeah.
Please, Ben, remind me, when we were given this particular job, for lack of a better term, they said like this one they weren't sure if it needed to come to pass or if it didn't have to. We're just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, right?
Yes.
Okay. We don't. We don't have to stop anything. We're just trying to figure out what's happening. I
Hmm.
want to stop it. Nobody. I don't think senseless violence and killings is a good thing to have. But remember, we're here to figure out what's happening. At least.
Yes. It's not our assignment to stop the violence, but it is our, well, I consider it my moral responsibility to try.
You think I
Anyway,
slashed those tires for fun? I'm trying to.
no comment.
That was a Jackie laugh. I don't know if Amy laughs. I don't know. I don't know what Amy's laugh would sound like.
Anyway,
like Roz from like from Monsters Inc. Mike Wachowski. Yeah.
So anyway, I think our next stop was the Dome Graveyard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you get out there, it's just dusty, empty desert between the town and the Dome Graveyard, or the Dome, whatever they call it. They call it the Dome Graveyard. You don't actually know what the domes were for. Although
Nope.
I think, if you remember correctly, what do you remember about the domes based on the information that I gave you?
It was like built. They were huge. They had names of some of the people that were part of the cult retreat thing. I think Paxton and I may have had like a running theory that they were just like permanent sensory deprivation tanks or something.
Yeah,
but like we didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know if there was anything more concrete than that, Paxton. I don't have anything written down, at least.
Yeah. I do not recall whether whether you said there were like ways inside any of the dome.
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, yeah. And the whole sort of idea of the Dome Graveyard has been definitely played up by the current owners of it. And as you like drive out there, it is just dusty dirt and scrub and red rock, and occasionally you're going to see, it's like they have these like stand-up signs that have been chained to posts that have been nailed into the ground, like sandwich boards, like plastic sandwich boards with arrows that are just like, to Dome Graveyard, to blank, 15 more miles, 10 more miles, turn left, and you turn down a dusty, unpaved road, all gravel, and it's like hell on your bike, hell on your thighs. But you pull up, there is an area that has been roped off for parking. Again, not paved in any way. It's just been, packed down by the years of cars parking there. And
I have 3 questions.
Okay, go ahead.
On the drive in, I think Amy would be trying to keep an eye out for any of those corpses that we saw last night. Like, if there's any in this area.
There are none directly on the road. If you because the path, especially the path that you were walking into was like just the dirt land. I mean, let me say this: you can make me a notice roll at -4 because you're like literally driving fast down the road. Unless you are taking a lot of time to like drive off the road and look around and stuff.
There's already enough damage happening to my bike, and I'm not going to do that. And I'm not spending any bennies. What I get is what I get.
Okay, yeah, but you're like, it's hard to notice. It's hard to notice things when you're driving down the road.
I got a 7 - 4 is a 3.
Yeah, you don't notice anything, I'm afraid. So close.
Okay.
But yeah, like you're just going too fast. You're trying to stay on the road, etc.
Second question:
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to see the domes before we approach?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this area was never like there was never like a wall or anything. As you are driving up, you see this parking lot. You see what you're going to assume is a like ticket booth, and then there's like a chain, just like a literal chain across an entrance. It's also held up on a post, but you can see the domes from where you are. They are rather big and noticeable, and this ground is pretty flat from where, like, you would assume, 10 feet, maybe 12 in height at their at the apex of their domeness. So kind of like these like giant white stucco ladybugs. It's kind of what they look
Ooh.
like.
Hmm.
In shape, like if a ladybug was just like sitting still. Yeah.
My third question is for Paxton.
Hmm.
What did Streffen do to hold on better being off road?
Oh gosh. He is like, well, we have a boundary about like too much touching, but like also, I think he probably just like latches onto her shoulders, probably.
Okay.
Like,
I was like, the normal like holding the sides isn't gonna work super great for this, not for Streffen.
yeah.
So I wanted to be like, where does he land on that? Okay, that was it. Those were my questions. Thank you.
He grabs the side of the thing. Yeah, no touching. Leans back. I do think you maybe like, because this is the rental bike. I think you probably rented one of those like cruiser ones. So there's probably
Yeah.
there's probably
like the really big ones that are comfy for
yeah.
like.
There's like you even have like a small seat back that you can lean into.
Yeah.
If this was Amy's bike, it would be a different show, like story
No.
entirely.
Yeah.
That's just like a hog on dirt. This at least has, I think this at least has a somewhat more comfortable riding.
Yeah.
I dropped something. Okay. But yeah, you pull up.
I think Streffen does mumble at least once. Maybe we should have gone for the sidecar.
Lovely sidecar. But yeah, you pull up. It's there is a pickup truck also in the like parking lot. Just dusty as all hell. Probably some rust spots. And you can see that there is someone in the little ticket booth. And no one else. It's just like the three of you currently.
Love that.
Streffen, are you going to buy the tickets? Because Amy does not need to be doing the talking.
Probably, yeah. So Streffen, he like makes a big deal of like stretching after he gets off the motorcycle. And then he grabs his cane off of it and kind of he limps on up to the ticket person and says, "Hello."
Yeah, and this ticket person is just like skin that has just seen the sun. It is impossible to tell this person's age because he has been like fully tanned, both like in the like melatonin level and the like the skin. You could probably make luggage out of him when he dies.
His skin is leather, right?
Make a luggage out of him.
Yeah, and he wears a ball cap and he's dabbing at the back of his neck with with like a handkerchief. He's probably got there's this like grinding of a like generator not too far away. And it's the only thing it is powering right now is an ineffectual fan that he probably got at like a CVS. It's one of those like plastic jobs. This is just like impotently blows air around. And he's like, "What'd you go for?" Howdy. He's like, "Come to see the domes."
Yes, we have. And Streffen looks over at the ticket prices.
It's like $10 a ticket.
Yeah, he like
Senior
Produce.
citizens get a discount.
Oh, well, I don't look like a senior citizen, so anyway. Anyway,
you do like partaking of the early bird specials and stuff.
It's
right?
like it's an extra $5 if you want to come back later in the evening for the ghost tour.
Ooh, do we want that?
I think it's smart for us to book for both, like get it now
Just
and
in
then
case.
have it for later too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So we pay the extra money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you give him the $30. And he's like, he goes, and he just points. He goes, "There's a informational placard over there. Tells you all about the history of this place." And then he goes, "The domes are." Ooh, and I just hit that with my elbow. "The domes are what you see. Don't touch nothing. Or they're all insured." And
Dome insurance.
He goes, "We got some bottled water here for sale."
It's like $10.
Yeah,
for
it's
a
like
bottle.
it is. Yeah,
That's where they make all their money.
Yeah, they make all their money. There's literally no fucking shade in this place, and they make all their water. It is literally $5 a bottle of water, and it's not even like good bottle. It's like Dasani, the world's worst bottled water.
How do they have Dasani all the way out in Arizona?
I don't know. I mean, he has it fucking shipped in. No, or like whatever the like, yeah. It is
no, Dasani is pretty.
It's Coke. It's everywhere. I know, but like,
yeah.
But hey, if you want to pay the extra premium, this guy has a personal stash of Fiji water.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the way from one of them islands.
Because that's definitely where it's actually from.
Yep.
Anyway.
But yeah, he just like, and the ticket is just like a scrawled tab of paper. And he's just like, he makes like a big show of walking to the other like cement, like metal post that's in the ground, doing the chain, walking the chain over, like back to the post. Like he's like, "You may enter to the world of mystery." But like you could have literally like gone around the post, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason not to go.
Or like
stepped over the chain. Yeah, like all of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
And then he like
Amy's just like long-suffering eye contact. Thank you, and then we'll walk through.
And then he like walks back and clips the chain, chunk, right? Like
yeah.
So
as if it's fucking
dumb.
keeping you in.
Listen, he's got one job.
He's got one job.
He's gonna do it well.
He's gonna do it well.
Yep.
I mean,
this is like a self-guided tour? Like,
he goes,
don't guide like any like pamphlet maps or anything.
And he points to he goes, "We have an informational placard over there," and he like points, and it is just like a piece of plywood that is vertical, that is like held between, and it has like laminated, but also like but the laminate is peeling because it's so fucking hot.
And in the sunlight.
Yeah, and there is now like a little bit like they built like a lip over it so that some of it is shaded, but the stuff on the bottom's all like the plastic's all peeling and everything's faded.
And
yeah.
I think it's another instance where Amy just like, thank you, and then walks away again. This dude.
He's like he goes the ghost tours are guided, but I don't do those.
A shame, I'm sure.
So now you're here. What are you going to do?
Well, what does the placard say, Ben? You've been talking about it so much.
I mean, I just
we've got to go check out the placard first,
yeah,
right?
of
Yeah.
course. So the
gotta give into the illusion that we're actually here for it.
So you stared at the placard. I mean, the thing about it is the placard basically gives a less well-written. Oh, hold on. Give me just 1 second. I need to take this phone call. I apologize.
Okay.
That's why I took it. All right, let's get.
Yeah, obviously it's an important call.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Yes.
So we look
yes,
at the
so the
placard.
Like the placard is basically a less well-written version of the stuff that you already found out. By the way, Paxton, from your person. But the thing that is noticeable is they do actually have more pictures. They have like from the materials of like from the like promotional materials from the 70s, and I will say, Amy, that you didn't get a great look at this person, and it was like super far away.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a person, right? They have an image of the group, of like the main group that stuck around, like we're a great family photo. There is obviously the doctor in the middle, but like his closest people, like the people who were whose names are on these domes. And there is one person who, if they had lost like 50 to 60 pounds and let their hair grow out, and were naked, that person could have been the person that you saw.
I think Amy is like looking at it, sees the photo, and her eyes track to that individual, and she just like puts her finger on it and taps it twice. And then, is there a list of names at the bottom? Like normally in those photos, they're just like left to right, top to bottom.
There
this person, this person, this person.
There is.
What's the name?
That person's name is Paul Garner.
Paul Garner.
Mm-hmm. And there is like a small bio of each person who's who had who has a dome. Paul Garner is dome number 7. You have a little map of each dome, and he was a film producer in the like the list of films on this thing. You're like, you don't know of them. They sound like B schlock, unless that's like Amy's thing. But it's all everything sounds like like female prison movies from the 1970s. Like beautiful birds in a cage, things like titles like that.
Okay.
But that's he probably made like I wouldn't say like full blown pornography in the 70s, but the titles certainly suggest that there were these movies that had a lot of nudity.
Paul Garner. That's the face, sorta, maybe, kinda. I didn't really get a good look, but if it had to be any of them, it'd be him. So I think we need to go to dome number 7.
Okay, let's.
Okay, give me notice rolls.
Notice. I would rather do a Zephyr roll.
I would rather.
I got 4s.
Double 4s. Too bad they don't add up.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I got a rock.
So, okay. So this is what you realize: it's not noisy out here, right? There's nothing around. It's not like you hear but there is still that ambient sound of wind and the crunch of dirt and like a skittering here, maybe the sound of a jet plane over the head as it flies from one place to the other. But you both do realize that the further you go between these domes, the quieter everything sort of takes on this like muffled feeling, almost with this idea of like the way the sound waves move within, like amongst them. They're disrupted and dissipated, so you don't hear things as well, almost like you're underwater. And with a 7, as I said, these are just like perfectly half spheres that are just white stucco. They aside from these like metal plaques on them, there's really not a lot of markings. It's almost like blindingly white. They definitely have been fresh, like painted over again a couple times. But with a 7, you notice a couple things. One, I think you both are pretty meticulous in how you look over things. And so you are looking around the base of this dome, of Paul Garner's dome, and because of these layers of paint, you almost miss it. But there are definitely some sort of sigils or images that have been carved into the base of this, and it wraps entirely around the entire dome. They're not tall. They're maybe 6 to 8 inches, but they are along the entire base of this object. And you discover them mostly by like feel rather than see. It's almost trying to, I think you like pick up some dirt and you try to like rub it in, almost like when you're trying to do one of those pencil rubbings on a image that has been written on a page before on the pad. But they've been filled in with like so much paint over times. It's really hard to figure out what they are.
Okay.
And
are those symbols also in evidence on any other domes nearby?
Yeah. Once you know what you're looking for, you can tell that they're definitely there.
Can we get enough detail that I can maybe roll occult about it, or is it just too obscured?
You can make me an occult roll at -4, and I'll tell you if you can pull anything off. Let's see the roll first, and then I'll tell you what you pull off.
Absolutely. So let's see. With my scholar edge, I get a +2, so I have a net -2 now. My D8 and my wild. And I rolled 2s. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
Yes, good.
Benny.
Ooh. Nope. No dice.
No dice.
Do you not have another Benny to spend?
I do have another Benny, but I would like to save that one for something more urgent, maybe.
Like not dying.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't,
Benny.
as I said, these things are big. So it's almost without like an actual piece of paper, like where you could take the entire rubbing, or they're just too faint. Some of them have obviously been like chipped off over the years. Otherwise, they're like pretty smooth, and the placard itself is metal, and it has actually, like, of all of it, it has been kept in a pretty the most decent of the images, but underneath one thing you notice is on the placard there is, and then you sort of notice under each placard, it's not just their names, but there's a phrase that it says, "The quiet is still, he minds it." That's under each one.
Is there punctuation included in that?
The quiet is still, period. He minds it, period.
I just, I'm a nerd.
No, that's important.
Awesome.
The layout of these domes. Does there seem to be, like, if you were to plot them on a map, how would it look? Like, are they in rows? Are they in what seems like a chaotic shape? Is it like a ripple effect? Like there's one in the middle with a few going out beyond that?
It's more of so you can look at the map, right? Because there's like a thing. It feels chaotic. If you wanted to give me a general knowledge roll at, like, I'm gonna say this is like a -6. You could, you may realize something.
Okay, I'll try. Common knowledge is a D4.
Shit, you better explode.
I'm not the thinky of the two of us. In stats. Damn, no, it's a 2.
Did you
I got close though.
Did you explode?
Yeah, I used my wild die, but it landed on a 2, so at -6 it's just a 2.
Oh, that'd have been amazing. It would have
been so good. It would have been so good.
Yeah, no, it just looks like a crazy ass jumble to you, unfortunately. They're not in rows or a circle. They just, I mean, there is a like a boundary that they don't seem to like move. None of them seem to be more than probably 50 feet from another one, but but you know, some of them like come in and some of them go out, and there's no central one. There doesn't seem to be you know, number 7, like who knows why it is like numbered number 7, like the numbering it's probably distance from the like ticket shack rather than anything else, and so there's that.
I have in my notes that one of the domes had been demolished.
No, the actual wellness center had been demolished.
Yeah, I have wellness retreat meditation center buildings demolished since then, but the domes, 8 out of 9 of them remained.
Okay. Did I?
What could that maybe be an 8 or 9 left remained? Maybe
It could have been 8 or 9.
because I have 8 through 9 or 8-9 weird domes.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
How we were.
No. I mean, and you can actually, from where you're at, you can see the what was like the foundations of the wellness center. It's like it's further back into the desert. But, you know, the buildings themselves are gone, but you can see area that is slowly but surely being reclaimed, and there's a little marker that says, like on the information placard, that says you can still go over to the like the cement slab that it was built on is still there if you want to like walk on it and stuff.
I mean, I would want to walk on it and maybe look for some of those sigils and stuff, right?
I would join in
very
that.
foundation.
Okay, so it is like a 10-minute walk just in the desert. From there, you know, it's almost surprising that if these domes were part of this wellness center, you know, a 10-minute walk is not close.
No, that's
and so they were definitely set pretty far apart. The wellness center, and the guy, as you're sort of walking out there, the guy's like, "Be careful, there are rattlesnakes," and you know, and like, "I'll get water when you know, I'll have water waiting when you come back." I dropped something again. So he, so you, as I said, you go out there, and from what your research and the placard said, the wellness center was 3 separate buildings. There was a men's dormitory and a female dormitory, and then this like large main building that you, Strefan, has been told was like a cafeteria style, some meditation rooms, like a big old solarium. What you have seen, like the pictures, you've shown it to be a welcoming rule. But right now, what's replaced is pretty much, there may, you know, there's a half wall here. You know, what you're actually, I think, really impressed about is oh, that was a terrible sound. I apologize, people over the internet. Like, I didn't realize I sucked air through my teeth. What you're really impressed about is just how good the demolition of this place actually was. Like, usually when you demolish something, like, there's, you know, unless you're building on top of it, you like there's almost like no reason that they should have just abandoned it. The money that was spent to knock this place down and get it up, except for just like the freaking slab, was like, there must have been a reason for it. But as you are walking around, give me a notice roll. One more notice. Notice roll.
I didn't see anything. Well,
I also did not. I got a 3.
I'll spin my Benny. I'm gonna try again.
Nice.
I'm out of Bennies. I got a 7.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Here's what
Just
you
not quite a raise, but
almost.
it's a 7.
So, Amy, you're, it's bright and that distracts you, right? Like you don't like the sun. But even then, you can't help but notice that in what would have been a section of the main building, and I think you're just keyed up to it because of last night. There is a grouping of dead animals there. All, same thing as before. But as you get even closer, it's not just dead animals. It is like insects. Like there's just so many dead, like, I don't know, things that would buzz, things that would make like any noise whatsoever. There is even like a weird, circle in this area where like you should see dust and rock and the like a tumbleweed, like anything that could even rustle is not in this space.
Can do we have any idea of what room this might have been previously?
Oh yeah. I mean, judging by the shape of it, it would probably have been there is some, mention of a like sensory deprivation room. Like it's like the dead center of the building. Dead center of the building. And because I believe like there's a map of all the things. This would have been built in a place where it's basically like a silent chamber. What would have been the silent chamber? And again, you get that sort of disquieting, muffled sound. But in this case, it's, if you cross into the area, if you get close to the animal, everything, it's almost, you can hear your breath. It's almost quiet enough to hear your own pulse going through your system.
I think Amy would have crossed into that threshold just to like investigate a little further. But like the second she hit that point where it was just like so quiet, it's deafening, she would have like motioned for Streffen not to follow. And then have not said anything until after she leaves that specific area. I think she's a little paranoid about it. I don't like this. It's a lot of questions. It's very concerning. There's a very clear pattern, and we probably have a good idea that we should not make any noise if we encounter one of these, but I don't like this.
No. Okay, I'm gonna try something.
Do you need me to keep watch?
Probably.
All right. Amy would stand in a way that blocks Streffen's view from anyone that might be coming from like the main area.
Right. Well, I think oh gosh. Would it be more useful to do that here or on the domes? We did not see any dead animals around the domes, did we?
No.
So either they weren't there or they cleaned them up constantly. So here might be more useful. Okay.
Ben's like, ooh, I
am
don't know.
I'm going to use my adventure card.
Nice.
Again?
Yes. A character with an arcane background may cast any power available in their setting, regardless of rank.
I fucking love that card.
I would like to cast object reading
What?
Fuck
on
yes.
the foundation of this big building.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Object reading is mad powerful.
Can you? I need to look
Is it-
that up.
Do you still need to roll to cast it?
I believe so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it seems
try to
pretty
get that
fucked
raise,
up if
bud.
you're gonna read the card. I need to look up the. Where is it? I'm like,
No, you do have to roll to cast because in our Rippers game, I had that card and I played it and then I failed the roll to cast on it.
well, I hope you.
And it was kind of frustrating,
I
but
hope you
dice
don't-
be like that.
Hope you don't fail it.
well, I have a D12 in my casting die and a
Fuck,
Benny.
And a
So-
Benny.
and a Benny.
All right. roll.
Let's see how this goes. There we go. That is a 5.
Nice.
I am casting this with the strong modifier
Okay.
so that I can see from the item's creation forward, not just the last 5 years.
Holy shit.
Oh,
It's going to cost me a total of 4 power points.
So many PowerPoints.
how many PowerPoints do you have? You just standard
10
2?
total.
Yeah. Nice.
So Streffen just like crouches down and he touches the foundation of the building, and then his eyes roll back into his head, and
What does he see?
Did you raise?
no.
Okay, go ahead and give me your. So you casted it. All right, let's
Yep,
see.
I casted it, but it is with the strong modifier.
Right.
Which,
All right. So what do you see from the time? Oh my gosh.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I just need a second to think about it.
absolutely.
It's not even what you see. It's what you don't hear that
Ooh.
that you experience most of all. There is this just intense pressure in your eardrums. As the and it doesn't start that way, because what you ultimately do see is the construction of this room, and you see a man who is obviously the doctor who founded this. White linen clothes, longish hair, a little like soul patch there. He is not the clean cut person that you saw in some of the original files. Like, this is probably some years later, like an expansion. You can see that as the people are building it, they are. You can see like behind it that this area is being repurposed, and they are putting in. They're putting in paneling and but at like different angles. Like he is being very specific as he is talking to the contractor who's building it, that the angle of this place needs to be in, and not all the panels are like just like flat. Some of them are like diagonal, some of them are sideways. They're putting in all this extra insulation, At some point, they put in springs on the floor and then put in like flooring on top of those springs so that when people walk on it, there is like literally no tapping. Like there's no sound that their foot makes because it just gives with it. And then you see this chair being built in the middle of this room, and it has sigils that are very similar to the ones that you think you experienced, sort of carved into it. And there is literally no sound. And as more and more of these panels are being put in, you're feeling the pressure in your eardrums increase. And Amy, I think you actually see a trickle of blood come out of one of Streffin's ears.
Oh.
At the experience of this, and he spends, you can, one of the things the power says is you can fast forward decades by a minute. And this is not, but so you can fast forward like months by seconds. And you fast forward through it, and he spends a lot of time in here. Remember, this is only about 7 years total, the 5 to 7 years total that this guy existed in here. Eventually, he brings in each of the 10 people that, or each of the like 8 other people who have the domes around them. You can tell like pictures, and they sit in these chairs or in this chair, and but he spends the majority of the time. And you also get this feeling that the more time that there is being a build up of some form of etheric arcane energy is happening in this chair, in this place. Their clothing changes. It becomes more ritualistic. There are robes and there's washing and things. But you have noticed that like every time someone spends longer than about 45 to 50 minutes, they start convulsing or seizing, and people come in to take them out. They, except for the one main guy, he just becomes more and more into the chair. And eventually they stop coming altogether. It's very abrupt. It wasn't like people, like, it was like it's just like one day no one else shows up, and then you see someone who looks like a 19, like, you just get the feeling because of the way, like, oh, they have like a badge clipped to their belt. It's like a detective. He just like briefly walks through it, and then afterwards you see the building just get taken down, and then years and years of animals or other things walking into this space and dying, as like literally their throats, again, another coyote comes in to howl, and as it's about to make a sound, its throat just explodes, and it falls over, and it's almost like you can feel the wind try to press in, and it can't. And just as you're getting closer, just as you're getting to the present, this pressure really is building up and building up. And then flashing before your eyes is the is the face, now sunken and lipless, teethless, of the doctor. and it's just this that flows over your body. And I need you to make a reason roll.
No, I hate it.
Delight. All right. So, is that going to be a spirit roll or?
Yep. And then what? Yeah, make a spirit roll, and if you fail, you lose a point of reason.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Fortunately, spirit is my thing.
Nice.
And I got a 7.
Okay, great. So with a 7, you are not even discombobulated when you come out of it. I think you like stumble back though, like your leg finally gives out from under you. You don't know how long you've been squatting there, Amy. It's probably been about 10 minutes, 15 minutes as he's really dug in. And so he just like collapses over. And but you are quick to recover. And you are certainly drenched with sweat. But what do you see now? I mean, what do you do?
I take multiple steps away from that area, and then I say, "Okay."
Are you good? You got a little and she gestures to your ears.
No.
And I think you like actually cough a little and some blood comes up. And you feel and you feel like a little like a pull like in your throat, like you know, like you've been smoking a pack in an evening, and so it's like all there.
Yeah. So the guy, Dr. Hansen, was definitely doing something occult here.
Water's wet. Like, this isn't new information.
Right. No. It looks like he was the only person who was able to survive for long with the effects of this magically enforced silence or whatever. And oh gosh. Let's see. What specific details does Streffen share? He mentions the chair because it had the sigils on it. The room itself was constructed with care for probably like a sacred geometry kind of thing, as well as sound dampening.
Does he mention the lipless shushing?
Yeah, I think he does say, and then that last part was the face of Dr. Hansen. You know, he describes all of the lipless, toothless, sunken features. Just appeared. It was like a spirit or a projection, maybe, and told me to shh in the creepiest way you can imagine.
Well, I can imagine a lot of creepy things. Yeah, I'd like to double down on my previous statement if I don't like this.
Yeah, me neither. We have to figure out why. What's going on? What is causing that? I mean, whatever the spell is, whatever the spirits maybe want, they want silence. And there has
Evil
to be
mind it, right?
right. What doesn't sit right with me is that the deaths caused by this effect don't match the deaths in that news story that the press showed us. They seemed to come from like the target's bodies reacting to the magic. This stuff looks like it was done by something external, with like things shoved in the ears and the tongues ripped out. It wasn't like the explosions of biology that we've seen.
So what would make the difference?
Um,
Because what I saw was Paul,
hmm,
not the doctor.
right.
So maybe that's the difference.
That could be the difference.
Because the doctor didn't have a dome.
True.
And if the domes are, in a sense, a grave for them, the doctor's not contained by a dome. And can send more than just a spirit out.
Maybe. Ben, you were making some faces about that. I can do to. Does this additional information allow us maybe another occult roll, or
Us.
do you think that should?
Just like a yeah, no shit, not.
Do it.
Any?
I wanna cast a spell.
Okay, what's your
Ooh.
spell?
I'm gonna cast boost lower trait.
Ooh.
I can do that, and it'll, depending on how well I roll, it can increase because I'm gonna boost a skill or attribute, and I'm
Mhm.
going to, because you absolutely definitely totally need it, Paxton, I'm gonna increase your occult roll.
Yes.
You gotta roll the cast first, but I'm gonna do that. What is my casting die? Spell casting D8, nice. I got a lot of D8s. Oh, 4. Good enough.
Okay. So that will boost my occult to a D10,
Dang.
and then +2 from all of my scholarly studies.
Yeah, so I think we're talking, and then what does Streffen do to indicate that he's about to think about something in a very like intent way?
I think I have to stay with what I kind of established in the motel scene, where Streffen, he like presses his the heels of his hands into his eye.
Okay, so I think he starts to like make that motion, and Amy's just like, "Oh, hang on," and she bites her thumb lightly enough to make it bleed a little bit, and draws, just like, you can't see it, but like draws like a little like rune sigil on his forehead, and then he feels like from that point an energy seeping into him and is able to focus a little easier. Gotta mark that I use those PowerPoints.
Yep. All right, give me that roll.
Alrighty. Come on, baby, big monies.
No whammies.
That's a 7.
Okay.
That's not a whammy. Woo woo.
Well, it's whammying enough. All right. So I will say that with all of this new information and the fact that you went through this, the people who sat in this chair, right? They were you were right about that. They were certainly trying to connect with something that had, like, with a silence, right? With the idea of silence. And these specters are they're able to do something, right? They are in fact able to do something and impact it I mean, one thing to think about is who put the wood in the ear, right? Um, and why. And so there's almost this feeling of you were experiencing a lot of pressure. What if you needed to let it out? Um, and something like that. What its own like what if they had done it to themselves, right? In response to these spirits. But one thing is very obvious with that 7. That creature, the doctor, is not a ghost. You did not feel that from him. You didn't sense it from his transformation when he shushed you. He, either by being the most loyal or the most worthy, he is now something else. And he is still out there. And you realize, what you do realize sort of sitting here is that the power that resides here is getting stronger. You sensed this emanation coming from it. This idea that, you know how like radar or echolocation sends like a ping out and then it comes back? That's what you're starting to realize about this from this singular location. That it is a ping. It is these not sound waves, more like unsound waves, are starting to have been over time emanating from this singular place. And as they go out, as they grow stronger and stronger, it is the barrier of where the ghosts, maybe, right? Like, you did a bunch of research. It's like this clicking is coming into your head when you think about the mutilations and the car accidents. When you piece them all together, there is an almost radius from this singular spot. And you don't know, what you can't figure out, unfortunately, is how big this radius is, or how far it can go, or what is causing it. You still don't have that piece. But you know that the distance that this unsound wave can travel, can radiate out and Doppler out, is getting bigger. And it is starting to include the city.
Now,
I mean, 25 miles in any direction is a lot of miles.
that's a lot. That's like 80 square miles. If we go with a pi r squared there.
Well, that was math that I have no capacity to do right now. Like, literally, that's way more than I could have done at any time.
Well, I mean, it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
you do, anyway, if pi is 3, then, yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's actually just a lot. Sorry, I am revisiting my math. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a lot of square mileage. And it's only getting bigger.
Yep.
Why?
That's the question. Let's see. Was the did I get the gosh, how do I use words anymore? I keep on getting distracted from my own thoughts. Did I get the sense that the doctor's face appearing was interrupting the vision before it was over? Like, did I get all the way to kind of the present day?
Yeah, I think you did. It was more that there was this feeling that you got noticed.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't like that either. I vote we don't go inside that gas station. Anyway.
The gas station, what's the distance from here to there?
Is it on the close end of town to this?
Mm-hmm. It would be, if you look, if your theory is right, it is just inside the border. Like it is, like the border and it are like right, right there.
I think we may have gotten everything that we can from our own personal investigation of the area, Paxton.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what else I could look into, and there's not a lot that is here for sure.
I don't know if Streffen would have mentioned this to Amy, but okay, the detective that was in the building before it was demolished.
Mm-hmm.
Were the participants of this cult, like in the previous research that Streffen had done, was it noted that they had died of mysterious causes? Like I can't personally recall.
To answer your question, no, they just they all sort of disappear.
Okay, so they disappeared.
They all did. Okay.
So the detective was there to investigate probably this disappearance, right?
Yeah. And when, they get out there, there are the domes were being constructed, and then shortly afterwards, everybody just there's no, there was just radio silence. And and then the place just shuts down, and the doctor just
Damn. Okay. I mean, the only thing that I really need to ask a little after is the bit on the placards that says "the quiet is still, he minds it." Maybe, booth toll guy will know or can tell us who runs the nighttime tour, and maybe they can tell us. Because I don't personally want to wait till night to get some of these answers, even though I'm worried we might have to.
Me neither. That seems, at the rate that things seem to be going, that seems like it could be too late.
Well, we know the bodies are discovered, it was the next morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're approaching that deadline, for lack of a better term. Amy's face is very clear that she's not making a joke.
No, absolutely. Paxton, I think that all puns are funny, by their nature. Anyway.
Actually, with that, why don't you both give me a smarts roll?
Smarts? I'm actually pretty okay at that.
I am also pretty okay-ish.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Just good, because I don't have any bennies.
Awesome.
Ooh, my wild die aced.
Nice.
I got an 11.
Great. Awesome.
Ooh.
Amy mentions the newspaper. Like, the newspaper says. And you realize you haven't looked at that newspaper. You have it. And you haven't looked at it in a long time.
I forgot that we have that. Yeah.
You have the
no.
newspaper, and you don't
Fools.
and you have.
Gotta look at the newspaper.
You've been meddling, right? Like,
we're gonna Marty McFly it.
yeah, based on things like this, you haven't really looked at. You haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I got a little distracted by the emaciated
Yeah.
Stedman,
But you realize, just as Amy says, that newspaper really, does it say that?
Wait, hold on. The newspaper, and we where did we put it? Eventually find.
I was gonna say Streffen probably has it.
Yeah, I assume Streffen's got it in a pocket, and he grabs it and he unfolds it.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you don't know if it's good or bad, but the headline has changed. It's no longer bodies found at whatchamacallit, at the gas station. It's it says what must have, it talks about what must have been a CO2 leak, they're assuming, or some sort of boiler malfunction that has killed this that in the morning or in the mid-afternoon, several bodies are found at the hotel you're staying at.
Okay.
And they list at this time of Kylie and Dane, people identified as Dane Zavala and Kylie Blue, the name of the guy who checked you in, the other another family who you're assuming that a third car belonged to, and two strangers, two people who, according to their driver's license, are identified as Stefan Daly and Amy Wars. It must have been some sort of chemical or something, because they are all found with strange hemorrhaging in the throat and the mouth area. No mention of wood shoved in the ears this time.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not quite sure what could have caused it. They maybe something got in the water specifically there, but they're assuming some sort of aerosol accidentally went off. But that is and went through the air conditioning of the place. But the CDC has been notified and is on their way. That's what the headline now reads.
Shit. Well, now we have a little more personal motivation to stop it.
Or to get out of there. If we just leave, it'll change again.
Well, we still don't have answers, and that's what we're here for.
No, you're right. Well, we have some answers. Did it mention whether everyone was in the same room?
No, spread out throughout.
Okay. Damn. It was mid-afternoon?
That's when they discovered the bodies.
When it was discovered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mid-afternoon of the day that we're currently in, or mid-afternoon of the day following?
Mid-afternoon of tomorrow.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the body discovery was still tomorrow, meaning the attack is probably still tonight.
Right.
Da 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 da.
Shit.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Shit.
Let's see. What do we have? I really wish I had more powers. Anyway.
Well, you've got a pretty dope power that you still haven't used yet. But
I do have a very dope power I still haven't used yet. I'm just...
But it's now. It's not the time.
yeah, now does not feel like the time.
I mean, the thing is all of... I mean, I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Like, you do know how to deal with ghosts. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're not an exorcist or anything, but you do know, both of you probably, but especially you, Streffen, like, you know that, like, rock salt, you know, like, general Banes and Wards sort of deal to, like...
Yeah.
Like, to like at least handle some of them, and you know that, like, having looked through it, they like there is an aversion to loud sounds, right? There is that sort of thing. You can figure that out. You know that. I mean, what you still can't figure out is, like, is the attack on the hotel, or is the result of what's going to happen because of you?
If it's targeted.
Or because now they're like, maybe it's because you stuck those two people there.
There's a storm coming.
There is a storm coming. Yeah, and you do know
storm coming tonight.
Yeah, it's super rainy. It's supposed to be so loud.
Do we think an increase in noise is a sort of like inverse feeds the power of this thing? Like, the louder it is, the more powerful it gets. Don't waggle your eyebrows at me, Ben. I'd like to say that we're probably walking back to the main area at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to stick around too long in that spot. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Meow.
Goodbye, Suki.
She knows I have dice up here, and she wants them.
It's because she's a gamer cat.
She is a gamer cat, and I didn't give her her own character sheet today.
She was a gamer cat. Said, "See you later, Bat." I made a parody song. You can't take me off the internet, Twitch.
There's not really any way that we can stop the rain, the storm, if that's that, because that has to be a factor. Like, there's nothing else of note that happens any time today that would potentially lead to enough of a surge for there to be that kind of death. It's really the only thing that makes sense.
Right. That's...
So that one guy is so loud. Like, he
is a loud talker.
It's gonna be the death of him.
It
as his mother would have said.
That looks increasingly like a possibility. Maybe, do we have anyone we can call on? I would really rather not talk to my probation officer right now, but, like, she might be a resource. Or do we want to try the the classic shotgun approach of setting up a bunch of Banes and seeing if any of those get a reaction.
I'm not sure I personally understand what, like, are you
I'm
in
thinking
the
about
timeline
like,
of the day? Are you like putting a salt ring around the foundation of the house to like potentially
right, like,
minimize?
yeah, trying to think of that kind of a thing. Yeah.
I don't know. These things are large enough that I don't know if the two of us can handle setting that up and making sure that it sticks, because this
Mhm.
is also the desert and it's windy and salt's not going to stay in one spot.
Right.
We could possibly try to put up something to protect the specific rooms that the people in the motel are in, if we want to try that. But
That seems likely to just change the victims again.
all of it's just a band-aid. What we need to do is we need to stop this.
Mhm.
And you were noticed by the doctor while we were here. So I think we need to do it here, which is epicenter, probably where it's at its strongest, which is problematic.
Mhm.
But it's not really a better spot. It's also isolated, so less casualties.
Theoretically, yeah. Okay. Well. Mhm.
And we already have the tickets to the nighttime graveyard tour, so we have a reason to be back later.
That's true. Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I want to play my adventure card or not.
Ooh. Is it a good one? Are you going to play love interest on Dr. Hansen?
No, gross. He ain't got no lips. I can't smooch that.
But it's the best adventure card.
Not in this situation, I don't think. Gonna have to respectfully disagree on that one.
But wouldn't we want an angry demigod of silence and death to anyway?
No, thank you.
So what's the plan?
Yeah, what is the plan?
Right.
What are you feeling, Paxton? Because my personal thought is we cannot stop what's going to happen in the town by messing with things in the town. We have to deal with what is here.
Right. We have to
And for
try to
Amy,
deal with the
who's-
root cause.
yeah, very direct and forward. That means being here and
Mhm.
physically interfering.
Try and fight the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem like
So I do think I want to play my adventure card. The more I think on it, the more I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
It's here comes the cavalry. Help
Ooh.
arrives from some source determined by the GM.
Ooh.
My hope in playing this is that we will have a third who can assist with the containment while we deal with it, if that makes sense. If that's a viable option. If that's not a viable option, just some help would be good. And it's something that I'm playing it at the end of the session, so if you need time to think on it and figure out what that would be, that's fine.
I think ultimately what you do is you
call some friends.
Yeah, it's such a big, it's bigger than you. You realize that this is bigger than you. You know, even if there is just this one ghost that can, or one creature that can explode throats, that's a lot. And there may be 9 of them. There may be 8 ghosts, and the doctor, whatever
and
it is,
the doctor is, yeah.
right? Like there may be
Yeah.
that. You don't know that it's only Paul Gardner. It could be other people as well. Every one of these domes could be a ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the town could be full of cultists or something.
Right. You don't have any,
Right.
again, you have
Yeah.
no idea. All you
So I-
know is that if you don't do anything, you're gonna die. Probably, maybe. You could just beat feet and leave. And so I think it is time that you take out your special phone and you text Morrison Lemire with what is happening. And you're like, and I think you just say like, in
backup assistance
Yeah,
required.
yeah.
Like,
If you want
this
this
is
this mission
this
to
is bigger
survive,
than what we thought. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is no, like it's much bigger, right? If you want this to happen, and Morrison Lemire, for being the head of an organization that is like global at this point with 1,001 people and whatnot. Sometimes his texts are very like they're just not what you expect, because
I
when
love his texting habits.
like you just get back like a thumbs up, like that's it, like bloop.
Winky face thumbs up.
Yep, and I think that's where we'll call this session, with the thumbs up, like bloop. All right, everyone, let's take a minute and thank everyone for playing. Let's go around and say who we are again and yada yada.
Yada.
Like,
You went first, Paxton. Do you mind if I go first?
No, go for it.
Yeah, hi. Bye, I guess. I'm Jackie. I've been playing Amy Wers. I'm found on Twitter at Good Ship Sarcasm, but more frequently you can find me on the Discords of the various podcasts that I listen to, including but not limited to Tabletop Squadron, RPG for You and Me, Sounds Like Crows, and the Orpheus Protocol. I do a lot of art. If you happen to be in any of those Discords, you will have seen some and you will continue to see them. Speaking of Discords, we have a Discord for this game.
I know, I gotta put that up somewhere. I'll put a link up. I'll put a link. I'm really terrible at any form of things.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do.
No, and like it's just like I come here, I play. That's why I need you young folk to like help me remember to be on the interweb.
We can put the link to the Discord in
I'll
someplace.
put it in the bio to this thing. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, join the Discord. I've already dropped some art there. I've got character art of why am I forgetting names?
Tuscan.
Well, of Amy, myself, and then also of Tuscan. And I'm working on art for every other PC that has made an appearance in the show so far. So get on it. Join us.
Join.
I almost, yes. All right.
That's me.
All right, Paxton.
And I am Paxton. Sentimental Boy is my nom de plume. That's sentimental_BOI on Twitter. I have a blog that I update like once a year or something. It has a name too. Indefinitegrowths.com. You can find me on YouTube at roll number 4 that, where I run a game of Gravemire for some very good friends. And I also play Elias Manusos, the Applied Materials podcast. I think that is all of my things I do on the internet.
And I'm Ben Hatton. I am the GM of this. You can find me in a couple different places. This game does have a Twitter called Game Novus. I have like a little complicated feelings about Twitter right now. I've been thinking about starting a Tumblr for this. If that happens, there'll be like some notes about it. But I'm also not sure how you tumble. So I feel like there's a lot to think about. There is a Discord for this. I will find a place to put the link where people can join it, like probably on the Twitch stream. And I am also on many of the same Discords that both Paxton and Jackie are on, and you can just find
Certainly
me as...
not by my recommendation at all.
No, Jackie has terrible taste. Never listen to Jackie. It's not the truth, actually. Jackie is
No.
just terrible. Yeah, and you can find, and I'm the Benhattan there. There's no hiding. But thank you as always. I've always enjoyed playing. I always enjoy when people come and enjoy it with us. Have a lovely day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, chat.